All right, 6 feet, going deep. It's Torius with.
Eazymac.
All right, Eazymac. Before we start, is there any rumors that you want to get cleared out the way?
Any rumors that we want to dispel, man? You know, shit. Rumors are good though, so you understand me. Ain't no real rumors that we need to clear up or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever they said, I did probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to 50 Cent, man, and my uncle Pimpin' Ken, man. We coming back to New York to fuck with y'all, boy.
Why don't you tell us what you do, everything that?
Man, easy motherfucking Mac, the one and only, no baloney. Anybody else a motherfucking phony, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Shit, I really out here, you know what I'm saying? Just out here, working on the music, you know what I'm saying? I got the new project coming out, King Mud on the way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, I already dropped the Mac and the rapping, that's coming too, actually. I got the Mactivist, that's out right now.
The Mactivist?
Yeah, the Mactivist, you know what I'm saying? Like activist, but mixed with the Mac, you know what I'm saying? So we call it the Mactivist.
I don't know why I was thinking of Nas.
Nah. What Nas got? Nas got some shit, Illmatic or some shit. Like Nas got the Illmatic and all that shit there, but I got the Mac mixed with the activist, so we call it the Mactivist. You know what I'm saying? So we fuse that motherfucker together.
You ever do
let's give it to y'all.
You ever put mac and cheese in the lean?
Mac and cheese in the lean? Hell nah. I don't fuck with all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't go with the food. I know motherfuckers though that put lean on food and shit like that, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't too much with that, man. That ain't a part of how I do it. You know what I'm saying?
How'd you even get that name, Eazymac?
Eazymac, you know what I'm saying? That came from, you know what I'm saying, I was legit, man, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody called me Mac, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like to say, you know what I'm saying, the Mac ain't easy, but you know what I'm saying? It just go together, man. So you know what I'm saying, we just blend it. But it's something that I've been getting from I've been legit, man. Everybody call me Mac, you know?
Yeah. You be Macking
hey man, shit, you know, like at the end of the day the game sold and I told you know what I mean? So you know you know shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody do what they do or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I like to, you know, help motherfuckers out, you know what I'm saying? Give them a little advice on, you know what I'm saying, how to get things better, you know what I'm saying? Because we all could get better. And shit, you know what I'm saying? A motherfucker could tell you a lot about you versus what you could think about yourself, you know what I'm saying? So shit, if I have a few lady friends here and there and then I can help them out, give them a little advice on how to do certain things or how to move, you know, I mean, shit, man, you can't go wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could use good advice.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What about your early life, your upbringing and stuff like that?
Same shit, man. Born and raised, you know what I'm saying, in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I actually even went to Nigeria, you know what I'm saying? I got family in Nigeria, that's in Africa. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I done been to Nigeria, you know what I'm saying? But then I came back, you know what I'm saying? Started going to school.
How'd you like it in Nigeria?
I was legit, so I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I can't really, you know what I'm saying, be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember here and there, but not much though, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, I love the culture. I love the food, you know what I'm saying? To all the Nigerian women out there that know how to cook, DM me, you know what I'm saying? Eazymac 38 hot, you know what I'm saying? Just holler at me, man, because I love food.
What's some kind of Nigerian dishes?
Nigerian jollof rice. Jollof rice is one of my favorite Nigerian dishes, you know what I'm saying? They got a spinach soup. They got an okra soup. It's a lot of different things, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just love the Nigerian food. You know, like it's a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? A lot of soups and stews and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we got the pounded yam, and we eat with our hands too in Nigeria. That's the thing. We don't, obviously, you know what I'm saying, they got forks and spoons and all that shit there, but
not just chicken wings and
they got chicken wings and all that there, but you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, when it comes to them soups and them stews and the pounded yam, man, you dip that thing with your hand and you dip it in the stew and you eat that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So that shit be good as fuck though, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ever get a chance to try Nigerian food, definitely got to try it, man, because it's some good shit.
Are you planning on going back?
Hell yeah, I want to go back. You know what I'm saying? Just want to go back. Shit, my old boy recently went there. And he over there, you know what I'm saying, doing a little bit of business, you know what I'm saying, starting shit up or whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? Shit, man. Like, definitely want to go back. You always want to go back home. Like what LeBron taught us, you know. You feel me?
You really into sports, basketball, right?
Man, I love sports, man. I love the Heat, you know what I'm saying? I love football, you know what I'm saying? Anything Miami, that's me. If it's the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Heat, the Miami Marlins, you know what I'm saying? The Miami Hurricanes, even the goddamn Florida Panthers and shit. Yeah, I'm starting to really get into the Panthers. It's crazy because we had a good season. Last year was okay, but I think it was the season before that like the Panthers was doing real good, and one of my homies used to scratch me, hey, let's go to the game or whatever. I ain't never get a chance to go, but shit, I bet a lot, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's advice I got. I do a lot of gambling and shit.
Oh, damn.
So you know what I'm saying? I bet on the Marlins. I mean, I bet on the Panthers, really. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever win?
Nah, do I win? Yeah. Hell yeah, I win all the time.
Yeah.
Shit, I win all the time, bro. Like, matter of fact, ain't no ticket today, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, it's the All-Star break, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no other sports going on. But if there was a sport on today, I'd damn sure be betting on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, how do you know, like, which team is, like, going to win? Like, you just pick.
You have to, you know what I'm saying? You got to do your research, but shit, I like to just go off my gut, like feeling like, man, you know what? I think this team gonna go good today or whatever.
Yeah.
Like based on the trends and shit, like it's a lot of factors that go into it. NFL and basketball and NFL really is the easiest thing for me. NFL and college football, because football is pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Clear cut. Like a lot of times you know who's gonna win. So it's easy to pick the winner, but
based on like stats and stuff?
Yeah, based on what they've been doing for the year, based on who's injured, based on you know what I'm saying, where they playing, the weather conditions and shit like that. But another thing too that really comes into it is like you have to kind of know like you know what I'm saying, like you have to study like the trends. Like, you know what I'm saying? If a team won 10 games straight, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be due for a loss or some shit like that. But I'm a homer too, so you know what I'm saying. I tend to bet like on the home teams too, yeah. And one thing I'll tell y'all, if y'all gamble, always bet with the underdog in the big games, like the Super Bowl, big games.
Like
always take the underdog.
Like the Warriors, like a couple years.
See the Warriors weren't really an underdog, I guess, this year, even though they was the main, like everybody knew they was the best team. But if you look back to the year before that, when they was playing LeBron, and LeBron them was the underdogs, and they had their backs against the wall and everything. So the year before that, LeBron was the underdog, and like true to everything, you know what I'm saying, the underdog came and did it. Another thing, I think the Falcons were the sexy team, you know what I'm saying, in the NFL. Everybody was looking at the Falcons like, boy, the Falcons gonna crush this shit. The Patriots ain't gonna stand a chance, man. I knew the Patriots was gonna like come back and smash that shit. You know what I'm saying? Plus the Patriots play in my division because I root for the Dolphins and the Patriots, like, you know what I'm saying, in our same division or whatever. So I kind of pretty much expected that to happen.
You play football too?
Nah, I mean, I played when I was legit, you know what I'm saying? I played for South Ridge and I played for Coral Reef and shit, but I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I would say I had other shit that was my calling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like hence the name Eazymac. You feel me?
How do you like start your day? Like how's that go?
Shit, every day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wake up and I pray, you know what I'm saying? On some real shit, you know what I'm saying? Cause you gotta be glad that you woke up another day, you know what I'm saying? Plus I'm Muslim too, so, you know what I'm saying? I start my day off with a little prayer, you know what I'm saying? Might eat my little food or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Always eat the pineapples, you know what I'm saying? Cause that's how them hoes gonna wanna swallow you, you feel me? That's real important. Make sure you eat your fruits and shit and drink your water. And shit, man, you know what I'm saying? I just get to the money, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about money, you know what I'm saying? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, you feel me?
Yeah. Were you always Muslim?
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm tracing back to my roots in Nigeria. My grandfather was the chief imam in Lagos and stuff. Oh, yeah. So, like, with that, you know what I'm saying? I had the background with it, but as I got, like, older, probably, like, when I was going to Richmond Middle School, shout out to Richmond Middle School. That's my favorite school that I ever attended or whatever. But when I started going to Richmond Middle School and shit, I started to get more like into it or whatever and shit. It sounds crazy, but I seen Malcolm X the movie type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like that shit kind of interesting. And then I just kind of and then I kind of started like doing more research into it, following it, and then boom, shit, I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of tats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I rep it.
What's your tats, man?
I got this right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a crown, and it means King of Mankind. This means God protect us from evil. I got a bunch on my chest. You know what I'm saying? I got the Dolphins tatted too. Going back to that, got the Dolphins tatted, got the Heat tatted, got the Marlins tatted. I'm about to drop the Panthers tattoo. So you know what I'm saying? It's a Miami thing, man. It's a Miami thing. Like they don't got to get back to prominence. I don't care if the Panthers lose every game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for the fact that I'm from Miami, it's where I make my money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'ma always be true to it.
Miami.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of like the music scene down here?
Music scene is good, man. Music scene is good. It's a lot of upcoming, you know what I'm saying, rappers now, which is good. They starting to get a little Fame and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trick Daddy the Mayor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Really set the foundation for us and shit. But the music scene, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to get up, you know what I'm saying, to where they want to be. But at the end of the day, man, I always tell motherfuckers, man, cause they be caught up in what another motherfucker could do for them, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't about what another motherfucker could do for you. You got to go out there and do shit for yourself.
Like, what you mean is like that they're waiting for them to give it to them?
Yeah, like motherfuckers, like, you know what I'm saying? One thing about it, nothing's ever gonna be handed to you. Like, a motherfucker never gonna hand nothing to you, you know what I'm saying? Because if it's something worth keeping, they not gonna hand it to you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you gotta take shit, you know what I'm saying? And if that means you gotta go out there, create your own buzz, if you gotta leave the city, you know what I'm saying, and then come back here, you know what I'm saying, with the buzz and make motherfuckers wanna fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that going on. Motherfuckers be like hating and shit, like, damn, man, the bitch don't want to help me. But bitch, you know what I'm saying, how a motherfucker gonna help you if you can't help yourself? You know what I'm saying? So it all starts with you, you know what I'm saying?
What about how'd you get into music, like, and everything?
Man, music has always been a passion of mine, you know what I'm saying? From like being a jit, going to school, battling motherfuckers, and you know what I'm saying, at lunch, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like doing the little battle shit, freestyling. You know what I'm saying? Like me, you know what I'm saying? I've always been into getting girls and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So that was another avenue for me in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm a rap, you know what I'm saying? The hoes gonna like it, whatever. The hoes gonna go to jocking and shit like that.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, once I got into it and started really, like, you know what I'm saying, like getting into the music shit, I'm like, man, I really like this shit. I started studying this shit or whatever. And shit, man, like, music's my part of my life every day, man. Wake up, play some music, like, do my shit, man. Like, I love music, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think I could live without music, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real.
What about, how was it, like, the first time that you ever made a song?
The first time I made a song, you know what I'm saying, like, the response I got from it, and shout out to Roger, man. Goddamn, Roger had the goddamn studios and the warehouses and shit over there. You know what I'm saying? We used to go in there and make the little songs and shit.
Roger's an engineer?
Yeah, Roger like, you know what I'm saying? One of them older, you know what I'm saying, OGs and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like an engineer.
I was thinking of Ross.
No. Ross was like Ross or OG too. Now salute the boss, you know what I'm saying? Me, but like Roger, some, like, you know what I'm saying, one of the local dudes or whatever that had like a studio, and he was really giving motherfuckers an outlet to, you know what I'm saying, really come and make music. And I was fucking with a lot of like Jamaicans and shit, and they'll be paying me to come and rap on they used to have these shits called dub plates and shit. Mm-hmm. So they'll have dub plates and they knew I rap. Like, man, hey Matt, come and drop this shit on this, come and drop on this. And I'll go to the studio and I'll be meeting all the Jamaican artists and shit, like Morgan Heritage, some dude named Determined.
They're doing like a lot of reggaeton?
Nah, not reggaeton. It was like reggae. Nah, but I was doing regular rap. Like I ain't Jamaican, I don't speak that shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, money's green, you know. So shit, if a bitch paying me to come rap on some shit, I'm gonna be right there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna drop on it.
Like articulate on the beat?
Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like a hip hop beat. And then like you know what I'm saying, they'll want a motherfucker to rap on that hip hop beat for them, you know what I'm saying? And the main thing with the Jamaican motherfuckers, they want you to say their name on the song. Like, hey, say my DJ name or whatever. Okay. So then when a motherfucker wants you to say their DJ name, I make my little shit, give them a shout out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I plug me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Plug down south. And shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Jamaica work like that and shit.
How does your music move? Like how you sing it?
Yeah, everything going good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we was with K Slade, like I mentioned, Pimpin' Ken. We had went up there, did a little like run and shit. I got a song right now with Project Pat, you know what I'm saying, that's about to, you know what I'm saying, drop, you know what I'm saying, that's doing real good. Yeah. Obviously I got the Mativist mixtape, you know what I'm saying, got a lot of big producers on there, you know what I'm saying, shout out Louis Hayes, Rockin' Maine, Tuck Marley, goddamn Doughboy, you know what I'm saying. You know, it's a lot of motherfuckers I fuck with, and these the same motherfuckers that I fuck with like on a daily basis and shit. Yeah. On the new shit I got coming, I got a lot of shit from Shawty Fresh. Got some 808 on there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to leave nobody out. I don't want to get into the name calling, you know what I'm saying, business, but yeah. Shit, man, like it's a lot of shit, man. Y'all stay tuned. I got Stat Boy Twan on there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of little links I made, basically with my Atlanta link, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Simpson Road Stone, you know what I'm saying, for putting a lot of this shit together for me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of good shit coming. Shout out to Alley Boy too, you know what I'm saying? I got this shit coming with him. Just like it's a lot of shit coming, dog. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just gotta stay tuned to it, you know what I'm saying, and see where it take you or whatever.
Did you have like a plan of everything you're doing? Or you're
G shit, man, you know what I'm saying? You always gotta have a plan, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be out here thinking, man, shit, I'm trying to make $1 million, but bitch, you out here freestyling, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sit down, you gotta have a plan. And, you know what I'm saying, once you have a plan, you can execute the plan. With me, the plan is simple, you know what I'm saying? Just make good music and then put out the music, you know what I'm saying, until it catch on type shit, man. Like, goddamn, the music business ain't rockets, like, you know what I'm saying? The shit ain't like, it's like a cookie cutter mold. Like, if you do this and you do this gonna happen.
Yeah, you gotta
so that shit ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay relevant, you know what I'm saying? You gotta fuck with a lot of different motherfuckers. And you know what I'm saying, you just keep shit going like that, man. And at the end of the day, like I can't lose being who I am, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of trying to chase that dream or whatever, you know. Yeah. Like shit, I'm still out here every day, you know what I'm saying. I might take your bitch, you know. Like if your bitch out here, you know what I'm saying, like undecided and you know what I'm saying, misguided, you know what I'm saying, I might come up and pull up on her, you know, and you know what I'm saying, make it do what it do. So you know what I'm saying, you gotta stay true to you, and whatever you do that got you this far, you know what I'm saying, you gotta stick to it, and you gotta just, you know what I'm saying, stick with that, man.
Yeah.
For real.
See, like how's like your fan engagement with like the music and everything?
Yeah, the fans love it, man. The fans love it. You know what I'm saying? With me, I like to make sure that I give the fans something that they could take back and they could use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to tell them some shit that they gonna be like, damn. Matt told me, damn, like not to be chasing the bitch or whatever. Like chase your money. And then the bitch gonna chase you. Like, I want to give a motherfucker something that they could use versus me just going on there talking that bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
Not really giving the motherfucker something that's tangible that they could use, you know what I'm saying, in their everyday life type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's real important. I want to make sure that when you listen to an Eazymac track, that I'm going to give you a tip. If you're going through something with you and your bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you some little tidbits in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, on how to keep her in line.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the ladies, you know what I'm saying? If you're going through some shit with your nigga, shit, I'm going to give you a little bit of game, you know what I'm saying? So you can make sure he on point and, like, what the kind of watch for. If you out there struggling, trying to make some money, there's some songs on there, you know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you, hey, you know what I'm saying, sit down and, you know what I'm saying, come up with a plan and this how you get your money, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's more like the music, like they got them type of books that's like a self-help book. Mm-hmm. Like that's how I consider my music. It's like some self-help shit. Right. Like, a motherfucker gonna pop my shit in and listen to it and they gonna leave that shit like feeling good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, man. Yeah. Like, it's all about the knowledge and giving the motherfucker what they need to know, you know what I'm saying, to get where they want to get and shit.
Yeah.
For real.
Do you have, like, any other, like, business ventures that you want to do?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, like I said, like, I can't lose myself with chasing rap and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My brother got the Uber wings. That's a real big thing, you know what I'm saying? All organic food, you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check it out, uberwings.com. Well, actually, eatuberwings.com, you know what I'm saying? With me personally, I got an auto transport company, so if a motherfucker want to ship their car from motherfucking California and bring that shit to Miami or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I can make that shit work for you. Nationwideautocarriers.com, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different avenues, you know what I'm saying? It's so much money out here. When a motherfucker complaining about getting money or what they got or what they don't got, what they want, like, you know what I'm saying? We put ourselves in, like, whatever situation you in, like, you put yourself in that situation. If you broke, you put yourself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you rich as fuck and you got bread, man, you put yourself in that situation. So a lot of times we got to start with ourselves, like, what the fuck we got going on, mm-hmm. and then put that shit out. You know what I'm saying? It's Miami, so motherfuckers gonna try to come take what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had incidents where motherfuckers tried to, like, come in my crib, you know what I'm saying? And we all know Florida is a stand your ground state. So if a motherfucker try to come and take mine, bitch, I'm busting. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't here to brag on dead spirits and shit like that. But at the end of the day, hey man, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna be easy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers need to know that. You feel me?
Let's say, like, there was a situation, like, you know, you're just at the crib, you have like $0 in your bank account, you need like $100.
Yeah.
How would you, like, go about it?
Shit, if I'm on zero, and it's been times that I've been up, you know what I'm saying, and I've been down, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it be ups and downs to it, but at the end of the day, it's so many different avenues, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, without doing too much talking, you know what I'm saying, like, they call me Eazymac for real, you know, cause shit, man, you know what I'm saying, I get it out of, you know what I'm saying, I get it out of bitch, you know what I'm saying, and she'll put it in the nigga's sock, you know what I mean, but at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying, like, it's a lot of different ways to get money, you know what I'm saying, like, Like, it's so much you could do. Like, if a motherfucker complaining about being broke, it's because they ain't going out there to do it. Like, it could be a motherfucker out there on the corner selling water. You know what I'm saying? It could be a motherfucker selling companionship, you know what I'm saying, for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of different ways to get money, you know what I'm saying, without going too in depth. You know what I'm saying? And to all the kids out there listening, you know what I'm saying, being a drug dealer ain't the only way to make $1 million out here, you know what I'm saying? Like you go out there, sell some water, go out there, sell some CDs and shit, go out there and sell some food, you know what I'm saying? It's so many different avenues, and you know what I'm saying? We all need to see that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
What about like some of your like inspirations?
Shit, my inspirations, man, I got a lot of inspirations, man. Shout out to Pimpin' Ken, you know what I'm saying? Gave me a lot of game, you know what I'm saying? He actually showed me how to, like, this, like, you know what I'm saying? He done wrote a book and got, like, you know what I'm saying, $250,000, you know what I'm saying? Publishing deal from Simon & Schuster. Shout out to Simon & Schuster, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? With the game that he learned from getting that $250,000,
What's this book about?
It's a self-help book. If you heard of Robert Greene, the 48 Laws of Power, he has a book called The 48 Laws of Game. And he like basically outlines, like, you know what I'm saying, the ins and outs and ins, you know what I'm saying, like game, you know what I'm saying, because it's a lot of square motherfuckers out here want to know shit like, damn, I like this girl, I don't know how to approach her and shit like that.
Like business game.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that same game applies to, you could apply it to being a pimp if you want, you could apply it to being a successful businessman, you could apply it to being a football coach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's all about taking the knowledge and applying it to whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, knowledge is it, man. Once you got knowledge, and, like, man, you know what I'm saying? He has another book called The Art of Human Chess, and it teaches you how to, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a play off of The Art of War. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another good book, too. Y'all should, you know what I'm saying? Read.
How are you moving before you read those books?
Like, you know what I'm saying? I always pretty much had it, like, you know what I'm saying, in my head. Like, I had the knowledge, but it's all, like, a lot of times motherfuckers be like, man, this is a how-to book on how to do this. Man, I already know how to do that, so I'm not going to read it. Yeah. But that's wrong. That's a wrong way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you know something, you should read that book and then kind of take that knowledge in and then apply it to what you do know. Yeah. And sometimes it'll further substantiate what you already know. Like, damn, I knew that shit. But reading it in this book and seeing it in this context makes me understand that I really do know this shit in and out. And if you knew something, but, you know what I'm saying, you didn't know everything about it, it's always a little more that you can learn or, you know what I'm saying, add to it to kind of, you know what I'm saying, take it to the next level. Because the thing is, man, if you get complacent in what you know, like, you ain't never gonna get nowhere.
Yeah, you never
know what I'm saying? Like, man, like, complacency is the worst shit you can have. If you working at a job and you making good money and you like, fine, I'm happy, I'm making good money, man, like, you gonna be destined to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You should always be here and be trying to get here. You know what I'm saying? Because you always got to take it to the next level, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody know how good you can get. So you just got to keep reaching and try to get there, man. For real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was deep.
Nah, hey, man, that shit deep, man.
Yeah,
Shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers see me like, man, that nigga got gold. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't know. Man, look, man. Like, man, shit, I could walk in a motherfucking board, you know what I'm saying, corporate building, you know what I'm saying, and know how to switch that shit up. Like I said, I got an auto transport company. So motherfuckers, like, you know what I'm saying, I be training my employees, like, look, man.
How did they start that?
Well, it's a dude, it was a friend of mine, and he was actually doing that shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck you doing? And nigga say, man, I'm shipping cars, I'm a broker. And I'm like, damn, bro, that shit sound interesting. And the dude telling me that, man, shit, I'm making $1,000 like a week. I'm like, damn, you making a stack a week? So my mind was saying, shit, if you make a stack a week and it's 20 of y'all motherfuckers working in that shit, I can imagine how much y'all boss make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I started asking them questions, like, damn, so how you do this and do that? Then dog was like, man, hey, you should come and see that shit. Man, how about I went and I got a job at that shit, bro? Okay. Like, G shit. I went and I got a job at that shit.
Driving?
Man, no, like I don't I wasn't driving per se, like the actual truck. Yeah. But I was like, you know what I'm saying, in there being a broker, like learning the ins and outs on how to answer the phones, how to like schedule a customer that wants to get his car shipped with a trucker that wants to ship somebody's car. So like, you know what I'm saying, like basically it was on some middleman shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like once again, yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Once I got there, kind of learned the game or whatever, just to kind of see. And like shit, man, I take the shit like a, you know what I'm saying, water, you know what I'm saying, like a fish to water, you feel me?
Yeah.
So like once I start doing it, like I'm gonna learn that shit quick or whatever. So once I kind of broke down the game and figured out what it was time for me to step out on my own and do my own shit. And I took my shit to the next level. Like, you know what I'm saying? I set up websites. You know what I'm saying? I set up what you call lead sources and shit like that, so I could get my own customers. Cause what he was doing, they was calling from sheets. It'll be a sheet and like 10 other companies that had that same shit. Yeah. But I'm like, man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the only one with this customer. So instead of you charging him $100 deposit, like I'm gonna get that customer and I'm gonna charge that motherfucker $300-$400 deposit before they even talk to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that was my little niche in the game, and it kind of helped us out. And you know what I'm saying? Like shit, the rest is history, man. So you know what I'm saying?
It's going pretty good now.
Hell yeah, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers from auctions and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of different motherfuckers that like need their car shipped. Like right now, like all the motherfuckers left school and shit. So all the motherfuckers that left college and they going back home to their parents or whatever for the summer and shit, guess what? They got a car and they don't want to leave their shit at school. They want to take their shit back to the crib. So boom, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm gonna wax their ass, you know what I'm saying? A motherfucker, like I know a lot of motherfuckers that rap and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like the other day, my partner, you know what I'm saying, got the Bentley. And my dog, you know what I'm saying, about to go to Atlanta to handle some business. And my dog, rather than go to Atlanta and try to rent the car, shit, that nigga gonna ship his own Bentley from Miami, you know what I'm saying, to Atlanta. Yeah. And then you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put his shit in a nice enclosed trailer. So I'm telling y'all, man, nationwideautocarriers.com if you want your car shipped, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For real. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what about like your shows and stuff?
Yeah, it's a lot of good shows, man. One of my favorite shows that I did was with Juicy J. Shout out to my boy GFX Kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause he does a lot of filming for a lot of different people and shit. Yeah. And he basically like had a few different links in there. And my boy Brian L had a link with Dope ENT. Dope ENT does a lot of big shows. Rolling Loud. Yeah. They did the Juicy J THV tour. So you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of different little things, whatever, that came together that made it happen. But long story short, we opened for Juicy J in Orlando, man. That shit was big as fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? The crowd was loving it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the beauty of it is when the crowd like already knows your music, like that kind of energizes you and it makes you want to do it more. You know what I'm saying? Cause motherfuckers really feel that shit, man. So you know what I'm saying?
That was your biggest show? Yeah. That was your biggest show?
Yeah, well, we did a show like for some kids. Like we had Finesse this, we had, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Finesse is a big part of being from Miami or whatever. But at the end of the day, like it was a dude that I know, and he used to do the Bob Marley Fest and events like that. Yeah. And with this one particular event, they had like a bunch of kids coming to Miami with like some track and field type shit, and they needed a show. And in my mind, I'm like, shit. Like he asking me who's the biggest people to perform, and I'm like, I ain't never did a show in my life. Like I ain't never did shit like that. But I rap, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, we the biggest people in Miami. Like old white dude, he ain't know what was what or whatever. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? I told him, yeah, man, shit, check us out, woo woo woo. But he heard the songs and he played it for the parks. Man, many motherfuckers bust us a check for $10,000. At the time, that was a lot of money. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? Big, yeah, dog. They gave us a check for $10,000.
At Marley Fest?
No, not Marley Fest. It was like it was Miami-Dade Recreations and Parks. Like it was something for the kids. You know what I'm saying? It was in Tropical Park.
You told them 10,000, they just gave it to you.
Man, like they had a budget. Like he fucked up telling me what the budget was. Like man, I got 10,000 for a show. I'm like, man, hey, I got yo. I was like, shit, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And then I got all my niggas to do the show with me and shit. And to make a long story short, we did the show. You know what I'm saying? We killed it. You know what I'm saying? Even though the kids never heard the song a day in their life, because we never had nothing out.
Yeah.
We just went up there, rocked it to the point where they felt that, you know what I'm saying, they was already involved in.
Yeah.
And the songs that we chose to perform were songs that was real melodic and you could really catch on to it quick or whatever. So
like a good
man, trust me, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like all I was seeing was dollar signs, man. And then when we pulled it off, man, it was something beautiful, and there wasn't no turning back from then, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, went full-fledged, you know what I'm saying, with the rap game and everything, man. But that was something big right there. You know what I'm saying? Like how
many kids was there?
I think it was like I want to say it was like maybe like 20,000 kids. Like it was kids from all over the district competing like in track and field events. So you take all those kids that's competing, and then they parents and all their family members came to the actual show or whatever. So
you were like nervous or anything?
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You always nervous until that money come out, you know? Until you know there's some money at the end of the tunnel, you feel me? So, like, knowing what we were doing it for, like, man, all them nerves went away quick. A show G shit, though, recently that I was nervous, we did a show with Boosie at the James L. Knight Center. And, like, we had DJ Smalls come DJ for us and shit. Shout out to DJ Smalls for flying in to do it.
Is that DJ Smalls?
Yeah, DJ Small Eyes, exactly. So he had came out and he did it for us or whatever. But he was like, DJ Smalls is meticulous in his planning. Like, hey, we got to do this, we got to go over this, we got to go over this. And I done did a million shows, but like I ain't never went over the type of shit he was saying and like the shit like that. So I was a little nervous with that, but like with the knowledge that he gave us and shit, like, hey, do this like this and do this like this. That shit took the show to a whole nother level, and the shit that he taught us from that show, I still utilize to this day and shit, man. You know, see what I'm saying? So that shit was really, really big. So for us, man, like that was actually before we did the Juicy J show. So like doing that show with DJ Smalls, getting us ready to go, man. Like that shit took it to the next level. Like my brother Trip Too Crazy, man. Shout out Trip Too Crazy, Elbows and Kilos. He the one that was like, man, we got this, man. This shit ain't nothing, man. Woo, woo, woo. And like, you know what I'm saying. So he ain't have no nerves. But in my mind, I'm like, nigga, we ain't never did a show for this big type of crowd or whatever. But like, man, we worked that shit out there, man. Everything went good. Like Trip was actually a part of putting the show together, so that's how we was able to get on the bill to begin with, because it was a big bill. Jeezy, no, not Jeezy, Boosie.
Jeezy or Jeezy?
No, not Jeezy. Like it was Boosie. I don't know why I said Jeezy, but Boosie. Like it was a bunch of other motherfuckers, man. I don't want to like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to sit here naming motherfuckers because I'm not sure of the list or whatever. But like all the local artists was definitely there and shit, man. You know what I'm saying. But it was really, really big. You know what I'm saying. That was actually that was when Boosie first got out of jail. That was one of his first shows. That was the first show that he did in Miami. So you know what I'm saying. That was real big. Y'all go online to my Instagram or go online to my YouTube, Eazymac 38 Hot, and y'all can see all that shit, man. All the footage is up there, man. That shit was crazy.
You got to meet him and everything?
Who?
Boosie?
Hell yeah, but like I've been an acquaintance of Boosie like through other motherfuckers and shit. Like I say, man, nigga really be doing this lean shit, man, drinking his lean, I share lean, you know what I'm saying? If you from Miami, I ain't gonna sell you nothing, but if you from Miami, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you not from Miami and you here in Miami and you trying to pull up and have a good time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to meet some girls and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, you know what I'm saying? And I'll facilitate everything for you, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like just meeting him through that lean culture and through rap, basically, you know what I'm saying? I was able to make a lot of different acquaintances and shit like that.
How was it like when you met him? Like you were just like
cool as fuck, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, like, it's some rappers that you meet and you be like, man, that motherfucker is just like you would thought he was by listening to his music. Like 90% of the motherfuckers you meet ain't gonna be like how you think they is by listening to their music and shit. Yeah. But like, you know what I'm saying, certain motherfuckers that I met, I ain't finna go into naming names, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, I gotta say Trick Daddy, you know what I'm saying? Definitely exactly what you think, you know what I'm saying, he is, the same way he told you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trick is how he is, you know what I'm saying?
You love the kids?
Hell yeah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I remember I was legit seeing Trick at the goddamn Southridge Killian game. Okay. Seeing goddamn Trick Daddy at the motherfucking house parties and shit. And Trick will show love to you, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not on that bullying shit. We did a show with Trick down south, you know what I'm saying? The Homestead, goddamn, I think that shit called goddamn Club Haze or some shit, like a hole in the wall, man. Like, my bad to whoever owned that bit. Like, I ain't throwing shade, but man, y'all know that shit a hole in the wall, man. But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? It's still good people in that motherfucker. So we did the show with Trick, you know what I'm saying? Real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real niggas showed love, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I could go on and on, you know what I'm saying, about my encounters with Trick, but Trick just a real nigga, man. Like, top to bottom, shit. We actually trying to work on something too, so pretty soon, hopefully everything get worked out and we able to put that song out too. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know, like, how you get, like, all your energy, like, where you get it from?
Shit, man, this shit natural, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do them certain types of drugs, like powder or no shit like that that's gonna make a motherfucker up and up, but. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just natural, man. Shit, like, it's a natural high, man. I'm glad to be alive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm glad to live this shit, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm genuinely happy, you know what I'm saying, to be doing what the fuck I'm doing. Like, when you do what you want to do and you can make a living off doing what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You, like, blessed. Ain't nothing else you could really want or, like, ask for, man. Yeah. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the people that's around me, shit, I just feel, like, blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bottom line, I feel blessed.
Did you always feel blessed? Like
it's times where you feel like down, you know what I'm saying? But you always got to remember, shit, there's motherfuckers out here that's really going through it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I learned that shit from I was legit in school and shit, man. Like, I be going through it with the old boy and shit. Like, man, I want these shoes, I want this, I want that.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna sit here and shoot y'all the old boof ass story. Like, man, nigga was struggling coming up. Like, I ain't eat something. Nah, bitch, I ate every day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Typically, I got what I want. My daddy gave me bread, you know what I'm saying? So I was always good. But it was to the point that, like seeing my other friends go through it, you know what I'm saying? Seeing what they had to go through, what they had to endure. Like, that shit made me realize, like, damn, man, like, motherfuckers really go through this shit, man. Yeah. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you bless, man, and shit, man. Like I said, I've been lucky enough to have a lot of good motherfuckers in my corner, and, like, you know what I'm saying, always there for me. Like, even being a jit going to school, like motherfuckers complaining about shit. Man, I got teachers pulling me out of class like, man, you should be gifted. Like, you should do this, you should be this and shit. Yeah. So that shit always resonated with me, and just always made me believe that I could do more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I'm saying? That was just something that I always had, man. I felt like even football coaches and shit always in my corner, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always somebody in your corner, like, trying to push you and shit. You just got to be able to identify that motherfucker. For me, it came in the form of my parents, you know what I'm saying? My motherfucking teachers and shit, my football coaches, you know what I'm saying? Like, the people in the neighborhood that I might have seen doing shit that make you know what I'm saying, wasn't legal, but they still knew. They still had the wherewithal to be like, man, look, I'm doing this and I'm getting mines like this, but you smart enough to be doing this and you could get yours like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, man, the situation we in, we are responsible for. If you in a fucked up situation, like, you responsible for it, where you need to do something to get out that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Do you feel like you learned, like, a lot of your, like, entrepreneurial skills from your dad?
Hell yeah, man. My old boy was a motherfucking businessman, mean ass businessman. Like, did his shit, you know what I'm saying? I watch him, like, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, like music too played a big role in my life, like, coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like Too Short and Pimp C are some motherfuckers that I really used to listen to a lot. That's why, like, being able to finally meet Pimpin' Ken, he was somebody that I was like, that I always knew about, you know what I'm saying, from fucking with, like, listening to goddamn UGK and all that type of shit there. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying, Pimpin' Ken was always a fast talking motherfucker. And I watched the motherfucking documentary, American Pimp. Yeah. And this motherfucker, like, man, you know what I'm saying, like, going in, like, breaking down a game, teaching you shit. And it's shit that you could apply not necessarily maybe the pimping a bitch, but I could apply that shit to
a business.
Pimping, like going like for example, when I had to learn the auto transport business, like I had to go in there, you know what I'm saying, and I had to kind of have a game plan. I knew what I wanted to do, but I couldn't reveal everything I wanted to do. So I knew how to go in there and maneuver and like accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, you know what I'm saying, in a short amount of time.
Not revealing too much.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I want me to go in there and be like, hey man, I'm trying to learn how to do your business so I can open a business and be your competition.
Yeah.
But I did know how to go in there and ask a lot of questions and ask the right questions, you know what I'm saying, to get the knowledge I needed, you know what I'm saying, to do what the fuck I had to do, man. You gotta finesse, man. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to my nigga Stone, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that Atlanta swag, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That nigga put me up on finessing motherfuckers. You feel me? Yeah, man.
What about like any mistakes that you made?
Man, shit, I make a lot of mistakes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we all make mistakes, man. But the thing about mistakes is, you know what I'm saying, you gotta learn from your mistake. Like if you make a mistake once, you know what I'm saying, like that's a learning like lesson. Like I look at it as something that I can learn from. But if I keep making the same mistakes like more than once, then you a dumbass motherfucker. Like straight up. If you keep making the same mistakes more than once, you a dumb ass motherfucker. A mistake is only meant to be made once and you learn from it and you call it a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? And then it becomes a valuable tool to be the type of person you want to be. But if you keep making the same mistakes constantly, back to back, man, you ain't shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop what the fuck you doing and try some new shit, man. Yeah. Straight up, man.
Are there any like music mistakes that you've made?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Like, man, I remember, man, paying motherfuckers for like goddamn features, paying motherfuckers for like, oh, send me this beat, send me this, send me that, paying motherfuckers for this, paying motherfuckers to do shows and shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Those are the building blocks that I had to go through to learn, and I had to endure, you know what I'm saying, to learn like what the fuck I really want to do and how I want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, mistakes, like, you always gonna make a mistake, man. But at the end of the day, like, if you make a mistake and don't learn from it, then that's the mistake right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you make a mistake and you say, damn, boy, I done touched the stove, but that bitch hot. Man, I ain't touching that motherfucker again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you know, damn, that shit hot, I ain't gonna touch that bitch again. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was a learning process. But if you keep making the same mistake back to back, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you headed for self-destruction, man. Yeah. Straight up.
You have any game that you want to tell anyone like about like?
Hey man, the motherfucking game sold now. I told you know what I mean. So you know what I'm saying. If you need a little game, you know what I'm saying. Y'all go check out my uncle book, man. On goddamn The Art of Human Chess. You know what I'm saying. It's available on all the Barnes and Nobles, Lulu, all that shit. Though.
You don't got like tips? No tips?
Yeah, man. It's a lot of tips. Like, give me an example, man. Give me an example of somebody in a particular situation. Hey, what they say, man. I'm asking for a friend or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things, man. Say, man, like shit, what's a good thing? Like it's so much, man. The game's sold, not told, man. Yeah. You know, like, but like, G, shit, I fuck with you. So if you have a, you know what I'm saying, scenario or a dilemma that you think that, man, let me ask this motherfucker some shit, man. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee I give you some motherfucking advice to come about that shit. And if it's between a man and a woman, like on some relationship type shit, man, that's a wrap, man. Man, I got this shit sold, man. I always tell my dog, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could give me a few minutes with a bitch and I could tell you, and I could just get that vibe from her, and I could know what type of girl she is, what type of shit she into, not necessarily definitively, but I could kind of get an idea of what type of person that is based on the shit they say. Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's all about looking for signs. And when you say less, you like read more and learn more. Like, so instead of, a lot of times motherfuckers don't get knowledge because they too busy talking and shit. Yeah. But if you in a situation, just sit back and analyze that motherfucker, dog. Like, damn, like this shit keep happening, and let that motherfucker talk. Cause when you let a motherfucker talk and you listen, like all your answers gonna be right there. Like, you ain't gonna have to go reaching for so much, cause motherfuckers will tell you what you want to know about them. Yeah. Straight up. So like, you know what I'm saying? The best game I can give you motherfuckers is listen, man. Like, listen. Like, don't be going out there talking, giving up all your game, you know what I'm saying, letting all your secrets out the bag. Don't be telling everybody what your move is, you know what I'm saying? Like, always make sure that you let a motherfucker talk and tell them what they trying to do before you reveal yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, man, this shit like clockwork, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so much shit that then we could just sit here and just break down, you know what I'm saying, in one like setting or whatever, man.
Yeah.
But like listening is the most important thing. Like straight up, man. You gotta listen to a motherfucker and then like they'll tell you everything you wanna know about their ass. For real.
Yeah, that's why I do interviews.
Yeah, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like interviews, like shit. Like when the police goddamn got you in the motherfucking interrogation room and they interviewing your ass, they ain't gonna be talking, telling you everything about the murder, telling you everything about this, that, and the third. They gonna let you talk. And man, I be watching First 48, bro. You watch that shit? No. Bro, sometimes I watch that shit, bro. I be like, dawg, these motherfuckers just telling on themselves. And that's the thing, like motherfuckers will tell on themselves if you just give them enough time to talk.
No, that's my truth. I be letting people tell themselves.
Yeah, man, like motherfuckers, and one thing about it too, like the easiest way to catch a motherfucker in a lie is to ask them the same question twice. Like, bitch, I'm gonna ask you this shit on Monday. Hey, damn, so what you have for lunch on Monday? On Monday, that motherfucker gonna be like, yeah, man, shit, you know what I'm saying? I had a chicken tender sub. Shout out to my man, chicken tender sub, man. Like, man, y'all go Google that shit, man, chicken tender sub. But a motherfucker on Monday might be like, man, I had a chicken tender sub. And then you like, okay. And then on Friday, I asked that motherfucker, hey, so what you said you ate on Monday? A bitch will tell you a whole different story. And my thing is, when I catch a motherfucker in a lie, dog, I don't be like, man, I caught you in a lie, bitch. I just let you keep going with that lie, and I want to see how far you take that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like the problem with motherfuckers, a lot of time when you catch a motherfucker in a lie, you be so quick and like revealing that shit. Like, man, you said this, but you did this. Nah, man, let that motherfucker keep lying, and you already know what you need to know. So if I know this motherfucker a lie, like, why the fuck do I need to reveal to him that I know he a liar?
But then what do you do like in retaliation?
Man, ain't no, like, that's the thing. There isn't, retaliation isn't always the thing to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep your enemies close, keep your friends close, and your enemies even closer. So at the end of the day, if I know this motherfucker's my enemy, like, rather than reveal that I know you my enemy, and like, you know what I'm saying, like put the agenda on the table, I'll just let you keep going and doing what the fuck you want to do.
But do you like cut him off or something?
You don't need to cut him off. Like, why should I cut him off when I could use him as a pawn to achieve something I need to achieve? Let's say that's my enemy, right? And I'm like, damn, this my enemy. I ain't gonna tell him nothing. Like, I ain't gonna give him no valuable information. Like, you know what I'm saying, me?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna tell him, oh, this is where I keep my safe and this is my safe code. Like, cause I know you my enemy. But at the end of the day, I'ma let you keep pretending to be my friend. Like, if a motherfucker wanna pretend to be my friend, I'll let them pretend to be my friend. Yeah. And then like I'll use them, you know what I'm saying, accordingly, man. Like, sometimes you have to play somebody's friend. You have to play friends with your enemy, man. I know it sounds crazy, man, but that's a little tidbit right there. That's a little bit of game for you, man. I'm telling you. Like, sometimes you have to play friends with your enemy to achieve what you need to achieve.
What if you can't stand them?
You should never let somebody, how they act, like, reflect on how you feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Gandhi said that shit, man. Gandhi said that me harboring hate for somebody is like poisoning myself. Like, if I know I hate this motherfucker right here, like, why the fuck am I gonna hold that hate inside of me for that motherfucker? Like, I ain't got no room for that hate in me. Like, no, seriously, you feel me? Yeah. Like, why should I keep that hate in me? Fuck around, bitch. I might hate 100 motherfuckers. Then that means I got a space in me with hate for 100 motherfuckers, man. Yeah. Man, fuck all that, man. I'ma just deal with the motherfuckers accordingly, man. Like, I already know that motherfucker ain't shit to me. So that motherfucker ain't shit to me already. So rather than harbor hate in me for that motherfucker and poison myself, like, man, I don't got no time for that shit, man.
Yeah.
Straight up, man, I don't got time for that shit, man. If I know I ain't fucking with you, I ain't fucking with you. I might not necessarily reveal that to you, but you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, what's done in the dark will come in the light, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'ma just wait for a motherfucker to hang themselves. Like, give a motherfucker long enough rope and they gonna hang themselves, man. So, like, if you out here beefing with motherfuckers and like, man, I hate this, man, don't hate nobody, man. Like, G shit, don't hate nobody, bro. Just do your motherfucking shit and you stay on your shit, and that motherfucker's gonna get what the fuck they deserve. For real, man. Like, all that hating ain't, you know what I'm saying, it, man. Fuck all that, man.
What about when people hate you? Like, you got haters?
Like I said, when people hate you, you already know. 9 times out of 10, a motherfucker that hates you ain't gonna come in the form of, like, it will, excuse me, 9 times out of 10, when motherfuckers hate you and it hurts you, it's because that person that's hating you is somebody that you trusted or that you expected more from. Yeah. If a motherfucker that I never met a day in my life, you know what I'm saying, I'm at the strip club vibing, a motherfucker walk through the door and shit, and I see a motherfucker that I ain't never seen a day in my life come in there and like mean mug me, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't nothing to me. Like, fuck this nigga, I don't know this nigga.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody that I've been cool with for some years, like making money with, I done let the nigga sleep on my couch, I done let the nigga eat at my crib, let the motherfucker go on my fridge and shit. Like, and that motherfucker start hating on me, that shit'll really hurt you.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, when motherfuckers hate, it comes from somebody that you expect some shit from. So you know what the remedy is for that? What? Don't expect shit from nobody. Like, don't expect shit from nobody. Family, friends, like associates, like motherfuckers you ain't never meet, don't expect nothing from nobody. So whatever somebody does, like, it's a plus. Like, you ain't gonna be like hurt, like, man, this motherfucker tried me. Nah, bitch. Like, man, females tell me that all the time, and I tell my girls all the time, man, cause they be like, man, oh, I was doing this when I was in the club dancing, and this bitch tried me. I say, look, like, why do you feel that bitch had any loyalty to you to begin with? Like, you know what I'm saying? She ain't never had no loyalty to you. Like, she loyal to herself. And the only reason why she fucking with you is cause it's beneficial for herself. Like, it ain't that a motherfucker fucking with you cause, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, 9 times out of 10, you will find motherfuckers that genuinely fuck with you cause they really fuck with you. That's why, like, when you have a real friend, you could tell your friend, like, man, you know what? You did this shit. That was some fuck shit. I ain't appreciate that shit, and fuck you, nigga. And then guess what? After you done said your piece and he done said his piece, y'all finna go goddamn, you know what I'm saying, jet skiing the next day and vibing. Y'all gonna go run up on some hoes and shit. And cause that's a real friendship. You could be honest with that motherfucker. You don't have to like beat around the bush and lie and shit. Cause once you start getting into that, man, I don't want to say this cause I'm gonna hurt this motherfucker feelings and all that shit. Like, man, you done lost already, man. Like, if you can't keep it 100% blood raw with your friends, as in terms of what you think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you done already lost.
What about if, like, they resent you for it?
If somebody resents you for telling them the truth, then they not your real friend. Because my friends done told me shit that I ain't appreciate. You understand me? But at the end of the day, like, I had to take that shit and say, damn, if this motherfucker is somebody that's around me and they genuinely fuck with me, and they telling me, for example, like, damn, Matt, boy, you be rude and you be too, like, straightforward and shit. Yeah. So if a motherfucker saying that, like, I'm not sensitive to somebody else's, like, issues or what they got going on, and I hear this from a few motherfuckers that I fuck with, guess what? That shit is true. So then you need to take that shit in and maybe use that, you know what I'm saying, as something that you could say, you know what, like, as, like, for me to be a better person, I could do this to improve, you know what I'm saying, on myself. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you can't take advice from your friends, man, like you ain't, like, if a motherfucker can't give you advice, then then you don't consider that person a friend. Cause somebody that you really consider a friend, what they think of you should like matter. Like, their perception of you should mean something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you got to learn to navigate and know who your friends are and who your enemies are. A lot of times they won't, like, come out and just show themselves, you know what I'm saying? It take time to learn. Like, damn, you know what, man, this motherfucker really was my friend.
But then that's, like, time you invested in someone, and then, like, it was for nothing.
Yeah, time, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You always gonna, like, invest time in motherfuckers. But once again, don't say it's for nothing, because it's a lesson learned. Like, you know what I'm saying? You always learn a lesson. Like, man, like, I had this partner, man, fucking with this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Putting bread into her, doing this and doing that for her and shit, trying to get her right. And then in the end, she end up, like, you know what I'm saying, like, on some other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their relationship ain't work out for whatever. And I'm talking to this nigga. That nigga like, man, I done wasted all my... I'm like, nigga, you ain't waste shit. Like, all that shit that you went through with this bitch was a learning process. So now when you get your next bitch, like, you finna be 100 times better. You done had 100 lessons in that little relationship that you could take and apply it to your next relationship. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever look at some shit as wasted time or bad time invested. No, what I'm saying? Like, there's always a lesson there, man. So you always got to take everything and learn a lesson from it, man, mainly.
Yeah.
For real.
What about, like, any advice for, like, someone that wants to start, like, a business or, like, wants to get into, like, rapping or, like, doing anything?
If you want to get into rap, man, or start a business, man, like I said, man, you got to come with a plan. Don't think, oh, I'm going to be a rapper and I'm going to just start going around doing a bunch of shit. You have to have a structure. Like, that's the point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to like the dude that I learned the auto transport company from.
Yeah.
He said something that really resonated with me. The motherfucker, he was talking to somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying, one of his business friends. And the motherfucker said you could tell who went to college and who didn't go to college. And I'm right there, I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I want to know, like, man, what the fuck you mean by that?
Did he go to college?
You know what I'm saying? Like, he actually went to college too, you know what I'm saying, and got a little game or whatever. Yeah. So he was like, so later on I asked him, I say, look, man, I overheard you, you know what I'm saying, telling, you know what I'm saying, your mentor that you could tell who went to college and who didn't. And I asked him straight up, like, shit, how could you tell? You know what I'm saying? And you know what he told me? That nigga said that people that went to college are organized. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're organizers in terms of they know, okay, I got a schedule. I got to wake up. I got to go to class. I got to do this. I got to do this. Mm-hmm. And he essentially told me that that's what college teaches you. Like, we all know you don't have to go to college to be a successful businessman, you know what I'm saying? Even though, like, if you do it may be an easier road or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, those organizational skills, like, that could keep you organized and shit like that and keep you on point is the difference. Like, that's the difference between the motherfucker that went to college and the motherfucker that don't have no formal, like, you know, like, higher learning, like, you know what I'm saying, that type of, like, foundation. And, man, when he told me that shit really, I started watching motherfuckers. Like, all my friends, like, I'm analyzing bitches. Because I got friends that went to college, and then I got friends that ain't go to college. Yeah. So now I'm, like, out there analyzing motherfuckers. And if a motherfucking lying, I'm flying, man. But that shit right there was some real shit. Because everybody that I observed that I knew that went to college, the motherfuckers was organized to the T. And the motherfuckers that didn't go to college was just out here freestyling, doing shit or whatever. Yeah. They situations that they was in was really fucked up. So like, being organized has a lot to do with, you know what I'm saying, like, getting what you need to get accomplished, man. If you want to start a business, just write that shit down. Like, man, this is my goal. This is what I want to make, and then start from there. And then set goals, man. Write them shits down. Sometimes you can keep your goals up here, but it's a lot easier when you write it down and see it. Like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then you can easily attain it. Yeah. Versus, oh, I want to be rich. Nah, man, that ain't no goal. Like, how are you gonna get rich? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do to get rich? Once you get rich, what are you gonna do to keep that money? You know what I'm saying? To keep that wealth going and shit, man. So it's a lot of shit, man. But it all starts with being organized, man. If you ask me, for real.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you want to, like, shout out or anything?
Man, shout out 38 Hot Records, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, you know what I'm saying, my dog Hot Rod, you know what I'm saying, coming home soon. Shout out my nigga J Cash, you know what I'm saying? Oh, damn. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my nigga J Cash and shit, man. Like, shout out shout out everybody, man. 38 Hot, Trip Too Crazy, B-Wick, you know what I'm saying? Love That, Young Rip, Doughboy, Tuck Marley, you know what I'm saying? Rockin' Main, like Stone, you know what I'm saying? Veli Sosa, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so much, man. I ain't finna get into naming names, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga DJ Killer K. Shout out my nigga Pimpin' Ken, you know what I'm saying? They gave me all this motherfucking game, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out Tequila Mac, you know what I'm saying? One of the first true blue pimps I ever met. And, like, kind of gave me, you know what I'm saying, a lot of little tidbits, you know what I'm saying, on the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. my nigga Jet, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit is so much, man. But, man, shit, nigga just, like, blessed to be out here, man. For real, man.
And where can they find you at?
Shit, man, y'all follow me on that social media shit, man. Eazymac 38 Hot, man. EAZYMAC 38 HOT. You know what I'm saying? Eazymac 38 Hot. You know what I'm saying? The pimping ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? My Mac and hard. You understand me? So you know what I'm saying? Y'all just fuck with me, man. For real, man.
All right, this is Torius with 6 feet, and this was Eazymac.